So this is Art and Hustle Rap Revolution, and who I got here is Rich Field, Red Pill.
Yes, yes. Red
So
Pillar. Peace,
yeah,
peace.
Red Pillar, peace and blessings, bro. If you will, first of all, share with the people who you are and a kind of a bit of what you do.
Right, right, right. Peace to the family. I am brother Red Pillar. You know what I mean? That's PILL with the AR. My government happens to be Philip, aka Rich Phil, and PHI and Philip is Phi, which is fire, which is red, and LLIP is flipped around PILL. So in my government is my purpose, and as the red pill, I'm literally that. I'm what the red pill would be if it was a an intelligent, melanated, being such as myself. Ever since about 2006, I've been in a conscious community on the front lines, I would say, shining my light, being great. That's what I would say, just being great. I am I'm one of the first clothing designers and brand owners of conscious streetwear, with my brand Kings County and Soldier Culture. I also have one of the first new media brands in consciousness that was called Know the Ledge, that is called Know the Ledge. You know what I mean? Know the Ledge Media, Know the Ledge TV. We launched on YouTube in '08, right? And was going viral back then. And viral back then was about getting 1,500 views. You get 2,000 views. If you get 10,000 views, like you really shaking up the world, because I come from the beginning of what we are all witnessing right now. Like, I was in the building before the building was the building, so I have that distinction of having a vantage point of being in the director's chair of a whole movement. This movement encompasses all of the pillars of hip hop, dance, art, music, master of ceremony, oratory skills, movement, all of these things exist inside of this culture. This culture that I belong to is actually the fifth pillar of the illustrious hip hop culture, which is consciousness, knowledge of self, all of the things that held it all together. I represent the return of that right here.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. So I think is a blue pillar to it, correct?
Oh yeah, my twin brother. I got three brothers, KT the arts degree, and I got a twin brother, identical, blue pillar. You know what I mean? Like, that's the duo that you'll be hearing in our musical projects. We have a album called Twin. It's a double CD that we put out in 2018. Twin the album. One disc is red, the other one is blue. 22 song. I'm talking about, yo, mastery,
High
master
vibration.
lyrical mastery. Yes, yes. We make art projects. I don't say albums and stuff like that. I'm an artist. So these are art projects. I happen to draw, right, with my hands. I'm gonna look for some art real quick. I draw with my hands, and I also write. When I'm writing, I have a very good penmanship. That's also drawing with my hands, you know. And when I'm writing this poetry, that's the same thing as drawing on a canvas. The only thing is, I'm doing poetically with the English language, right? Here's some of the artwork.
Can't see it because of your
Oh
back.
yeah, because of the background, right?
Okay,
I'll
okay.
I'll pop it up, right? It's a lot, you know what I'm saying?
How long
Oh,
you been
this right here,
doing physical art?
huh?
How long you been doing visual arts? Okay, I can see
Since I
that.
was about 8 years old.
Same
Since I was
age.
about 8 years old, I was winning competitions and everything. You see that?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, okay,
My brother actually did this blue pill.
okay.
Yeah, it's the Pharaoh.
That's
See
fine.
that? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very fire.
yeah.
Feel me? He did
Okay,
that with a pencil. The detail. I mean, this is of course digitizing it, but he initially drew that with a pencil.
that's
You know
fine.
what I mean? This was the first design that I actually used in my clothing line, Kings County, when I launched in the streets of Harlem, a real streetwear brand. Like I was really in the streets. You
Mm.
feel me? So, you know,
So you went from
it's a story. It goes, you know what I mean? It's a
you
very
went from streets to higher thought.
well, the higher thought comes from the streets.
Mm.
You feel me? The higher thought comes from the streets. You know,
Okay.
this is something that I designed right here. You know, now we're designing with digital art. You know, all of my flyers, everything that you'll see me on, I designed that. So
Mm.
now I'm designing with the tools that are available to me. But initially I started out, you know, drawing uh with a pencil and a piece of paper, you know what I mean? Like through my imagination, because the best nation is your imagination. It's not a donation, contrary to popular belief. You know, that's what people in a beggar nation say. No, the best nation is your imagination, because literally you could think your way out of poverty.
Everything.
That's what hip hop has done. You know what I mean? People
Hmm.
have fought their way out of poverty. Check this out.
Okay. Okay. I think the closer you get, it turns blurry.
Yeah.
But I seen it at first.
Right,
That's
right, right.
fine, man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump into your song, Money and
Oh,
Power.
yes, yes, yes. Let's get into that, please.
So it says Money and Power. The day when the Messiah came, y'all was trying to catch a flight on Liar's plane.
Oh, Elias playing.
Talk to me. I need you to break this thought down. So just to give you a little bit about what Art and Hustle Rap Revolution is, we go through the psychology of lyrics. We break them down because I like to know what your mind was at when you started, when you penned this. Everybody can look at it subjectively. I look at
Yes,
everything objectively. There was an object or a reason why you decided to write this.
yes, indeed.
So talk to me.
Well, I decided to set it off with that bar right there because, you know, that's basically it's the clarion call, you know, it's the declaration. The day when the Messiah came, right? It's
Hmm.
like a triple entendre because with our two cultures, and there's a culture war taking place, and there's also a conflict of interest that's not talked about to the profane, but it kind of leaked when there was a video where they had a Zionist lady saying that the biggest threat was the American. People was like, what they mean by that? What they mean by that is that there's a messiah complex taking place because y'all got a messiah and they got one too, right? You
Hmm.
got the black messiah and they got their version of a messiah. So there's a conflict of interest between the messiahs. So the day that the messiahs came, right?
Hmm.
Y'all was trying to catch a flight out on Liar's plane, right?
Hmm.
So I saw a video where there was mad rappers on Liar Cohen's plane and whatnot. And this was during the time when the initial attack, because you could, if it's after October the 7th, right? That's when Gaza was getting carpet bombed, and you know all of this stuff was taking place. They was giving you the baby killings and all of that, right? They were
Hmm.
going through. They started their ritual. So to see the cream, you know, to see the golden era, to see the pioneers, to see you know some of our heroes on Liar's playing, yeah, and they were going to celebrate him and toast to that man, yeah, you know, while some of them didn't have jibs and you know they had health issues because you know Liar got the plane, but y'all don't even got you know 401k,
Hmm.
don't even got health care like that, don't even got the new teeth set that's coming out of Hollywood. You feel me? Imagine how all of them would look if they had the new jibs, the all whites.
Hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Next line. Yeah, the fire flames. Shit is burning like Delilah dames.
Yeah, the fire
From the
flame.
David and Goliath fame. Talk to me.
Yes, yes, yeah. Shit is burning like like David and Goliath, like the dames from the David and Goliath fame. You know what I mean? Babylon is burning. It's fire and brimstones. Like I said, the day when the messiahs came, y'all was trying to catch a flight out on Liar's plane. like liar, liar, you know what I mean? All of that, trying to catch a flight out on his plane, right? Like, okay. And this shit is coming down. When the Messiah comes, this whole thing falls. As you can see, the you see the pillars shaking, right? You see rumblings of something coming. There's something coming. They said Godzilla versus King Kong movie on the way. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's rumblings taking the earth. The first day of 2024, the whole earth started shaking. What's that about? You know? So yeah, the Messiah is here. If it's not here, if he's not here, he's on the way, and people are gonna have to make way because somebody is gonna call out, like what Cat Williams has done. He's the initial. Um, we will call him the trickster at the crossroads to start out the year. You know,
He didn't
he's
shook up the
needed.
shook
Hmm?
up the earth.
Yeah, yeah, but that's that he plays a character in the mythos.
Mhm.
So something even more powerful comes after the comedian. And I'm
The
just
king.
saying we that's on those that's what this is talking about.
Okay. God bless all them sweet sadies. God bless all them sweet babies. Cerebus escaped from Hades.
So there was a heat wave that took place right this summer, and it was in Europe, and it was a killer heat wave. It was one of the most intense heat waves that they ever had, and they decided to name it Cerebus, right? And the way that they talked about this heat wave when they were reporting it in their news and whatnot, it was almost like a spirit came on the land, or like an entity. Like they were really like, yo, Hades came from the underworld and he's bringing a lot of calamity. He's bringing a lot of chaos. He's bringing a lot of quote unquote death and whatnot. That's what they said.
Hmm.
You
Because that
feel me?
goes with your next line too. It said, they kill all them babies. They kill all them ladies. The Philistines crying like the
The Philistines.
the Philistines cried like the Billy like Billie Jean. The Philly teens waking up to killing scenes. We living in the prophecies of the Celestines? Phil,
The Philistines.
yeah, go ahead.
I say I said the Philistines are crying like they Billie Jean. They waking up. The Philly teens is
Mm-hmm.
waking up to killing scenes, fulfilling the prophecies of Celestine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I said.
If you
So
will.
the Philistines are the Palestinians.
Mm.
Palestinians are the Philistines in the Bible. So the Philistines are crying like they're Billie Jean. You know Billie Jean?
Oh, from off Michael Jackson
Yes,
song.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I said the Philly teens are waking up to killing scenes. Yeah.
We live
Because
in
we
the
know that
prophet.
that's what they waking up to in Philly, right?
Mm-hmm.
The killing to murder scenes like yellow tape, bodies laid out, blood stained streets, you know what I mean? Shells, hundreds of shells, because they out there with all kind of stuff. We living in the prophecies of Celestine. Celestine prophecy. Ever read that book?
No, I never read it. Break it down for me, just
Yeah.
briefly, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's one of those books that a lot of new age people have in their possession. They go along with many other books that people have read, like Behold the Pale Horse.
Mm-hmm.
It's of that collection. And it speaks of, a utopian future, but it also speaks of end time prophecies and things of that nature. A lot of things that we're seeing just going on in the world right now could be easily tied into I would call Masonic propaganda, and also like tampered with biblical narratives.
I
It's
was
not
gonna say
something
that.
that yeah, it's not something that you're gonna find in untampered biblical or Coptic or Ethiopian narratives about the Christos or the Christ. But this Romanistic, this stuff that the British and it's a lot of hands at play, and they're creating what they call end time prophecy, an end time scenario, and they're utilizing tyranny and all kind of craziness to justify things that they're orchestrating. Yeah.
Them niggas popping perkies won't live to see the day of the turkey giveaways. Just the other day, they had 30 giveaways. What's
Yeah.
your thought
The
behind
niggas popping perkies won't live to see the day of the turkey giveaway. Just the other day we had 30 giveaways. Pour out a little liquor on one of them 50 niggas. Yeah. So what I said, they out there giving out turkeys, but they also rapping about popping perkies. So more of these young kids are dying from their hearts is giving away. I said just the other day they had, so they doing turkey giveaways, but just the other day they had 30 giveaways. And I
it?
mean 30 heart attacks. I mean 30 overdoses. The giveaways is they gave their life away for a pill. So with all of those turkeys that'll be given out, what that mean if every other day across the world you losing 30 messiahs? I don't know the count right now, but that the numbers are astronomical. The 30 number, just in quote unquote, you could count up the southern states. They might be doing 30 an hour, right? So we got to talk about that. That got called out right there. Real quick, I gotta open up my front door. Could we
Go ahead.
all
Hold on,
right.
let me. I'm gonna hit. Hold on. Go ahead and open. Pour. Here we go. Pour out a little liquor. I'm one of the 50 niggas Pac employed. You one of them 50 niggas that Pac ignored. Rockets roar.
Yeah.
Explain that.
What you mean explain that?
I,
That's
I
explainable in
want
itself.
look, but
No,
I,
I know, I'm fucking with you.
I
Um, I'm one of them 50 niggas that Pac employed. There's an interview where he's like, yo, it might not be me, but I'm gonna spark somebody, right? So I'm one of them, and he had a tattoo on him that said 50. He
niggas.
had 50 niggas on him, right? So I'm one of the 50 niggas that Pac employed to carry out that energy. I'm not saying I'm trying to be Tupac or anything. I don't got the nose ring. My brother Blue got it, right? I'm not trying to mimic anything, but what I know is that I was heavily influenced. I even got artwork that I drew listening to vintage Pac. Like I was listening to Pac in real time, like maybe pre-Juice Pac or Pac right around, before Pac went to Death Row Pac. And
Apocalypse.
then even Mac, yeah, all that, because that was people don't see. There's a lot of that there's this thing where people are looking at hip hop through this lens where it's like coming through VH1, and everybody is trying to see hip hop the same way. Because you do have people who were literally born in like the mid '90s all the way up, so they did not see the thing, they did not witness it. And we talking about that golden that Pac, Biggie, all that to understand what it really means. Yeah.
I
Somebody has to tell the story the right way.
I just did a picture about a Pac and Big. I'm an artist myself,
Oh,
and
beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I send it to you after we get off here.
I
Look,
appreciate
phenomenal
that.
picture.
Yeah.
I got the greatest going through it. I'm a Pac fan.
Right. I'm gonna frame that.
And now, don't
You
get me
know,
wrong, Big, I love Big. Big a monster. I think both of them are great in their own aspects. But what Pac did was just
they don't
something
even
totally
need to be
different.
compared, right? Because
Nah,
it's like
you
two
can't.
towers. It's like you can't come the tower number one
Twin
in
Towers.
World Trade Center and tower that they to me they was the same type. They both served a purpose. And when
Yes.
they both fell, it was a loss that you couldn't replace.
You know
So
something?
that's what I know.
You might have just gave me an idea to throw in the background of that.
Yeah,
I might have to
yeah,
take
yeah.
just
So
let
let's
you know I
talk
might
as
have to put that
percentages.
twin
Yeah,
tower
let's
there.
keep it going. Yeah, you need to do
Look,
that. You need to do that because symbolically, that's exactly what they represent. They both they New Yorkers. Pac is a New Yorker. I'm not trying to rattle anybody's fan base,
born there,
but he's a New Yorker, not just born there. Got his, you know what I mean? Like he did more than
style and
drink the tap
everything.
water.
Okay,
Yeah, they say
okay.
get if we got you from 0 to 7, then you ours, right?
Yeah,
That
because
was it. That was
then he moved to Baltimore.
if they got you from 0 to 7, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Shout out to Baltimore.
It
Shout out to Baltimore.
said it's shocking we had to use shock and awe just to shock your whore. Scarface at the table with a block of raw. Bobby and Whitney, lock your jaw.
Yeah. It's shocking that we had to use shock and horror just to shock your whore. Scarface at the table with the block of raw. Bobby and the Whitney with the block with the lock. Come and lock your jaw. Pockets poor. Yeah, that was a bar right there. You know, look, it's self-explanatory.
Look, remember, this is
I
all
know.
about your mind. And look, it ain't for everybody because we
This
don't
is
know
when
your
it
thoughts.
starts getting dark, right? This is at, am I right? I'm a Scorpio, so in my writing style, it's very conversational, it's very visual. I'm a visual artist, right? So like I said, I'm a foundational artist, cartoon artist from the gate, right? So when I do the thing with the writing, it's almost the same way through the poetry. So, you know, that's where it starts from. But it's shocking that we had to use shock and awe. We live in what is known as the attention economy right now.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a time of where people have to do a lot of extravagant things, and they have to use what is known as shock and awe to get everybody's attention. This thing that happened after October 7th is a great case of how shock and awe could basically encapsulate you and have you in a headlock and just be hitting you and feeding you with all kind of stuff. There's literally breaking your consciousness and breaking, your the layers and breaking whatever limits you may have had, because that's what happened. They locked us in and they was like, oh nah, you're gonna see 1,000 dead babies in a span of 10 weeks. And that's what they did to everybody. And it's like, we're not the same. We can't be, you
Mm-hmm.
know. We don't know what got, exposed, or we don't know what by being exposed to all of that psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, what is
Mm-hmm.
that doing to like children? Just think about that.
Traumatic. It's
Yeah.
traumatic.
The hell, that's super traumatic. You know
Yes.
what I mean? We were seeing stuff, but it was like in fuzzy color back in the days. We didn't see it in 4K.
Hmm. That's the reason why I told you, look, I needed that stuff broke down because everybody wouldn't have got what you just said about it there.
Right, at the table with the block of raw. So that scene of Scarface at the table with that mountain of coke. That's know the ledge. That's the point where you have, your next decision is going to define. At that point, it was already over. When Bobby and the Whitney had lockjaw, was over, right? So it's just a point that we get, right? Gotta use shock and awe just to shock your whore. Yeah, your whore might be life is a bitch. That's who that whore might be that I'm talking about. But it's just shocking that we have to use shock and whore just to shock your whore. Scarface with the block of raw. They numb in these streets. They coked out.
Mm-hmm.
They sitting at the table on Tony Montana time. They on Bobby and Whitney time in this whole industry and in these streets and in these clubs and in these strip clubs and every other corner of the world.
Now that you said that, it make you think about what's the movie? They cloned Tyrone.
It's that and then some. Let's
Yes,
continue.
but when you said it, it shot me there.
That's exactly what it is. And then some, you know?
Pockets poor, now them prophets soar. We living in the dystopia the prophets saw.
Pockets poor, not a prophet saw. We living in the dystopia that the prophets saw, right?
Oh.
So the poor righteous teachers are now profiting because they're prophets. They live in the world of their prophecies. They could only go up from here. You can't blame them. You can't shame them. You know what I mean? And you can't arraign them. You know what I'm saying? Because they maintained throughout this whole thing. Now everything that they were predicting, pockets poor, not a prophet sore. We living in dystopian futures that the prophets saw. So nobody can deny that we're not living in the future. That and you see Bobby Hemmett videos pop up. He's like, "That's what's gonna be happening in 10 years." And then you listen to old Phil. He's like, "Beloved, you know, in the future, if you don't correct what's going on right now, this is what will happen." And that's exactly what has happened. Dr. Delbert Blair's like, the way that the world is going right now, da, 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 da. And then, you know, and that's the word. He's like, the aliens are gonna come, and this is how they're gonna come. The government is gonna expose themselves, and they're gonna say that they know about the aliens, and they have sat down, and this is something that the aliens told. He said, it's really barely, rarely anything that I'm hearing that wasn't already told to me by people who I consider. I'm not putting nothing that I know, not my beliefs, what I know. I'm not putting what I know on nobody because I'm not proselytizing. Right now, I'm not doing that. I may have done that and I may do that. But at the moment, I'm not in that bag. But my master teachers, the people who made me who I am, the ones who sharpened my sword and took me from Ginsu to my nigga Windu from Star, the brother from Star Wars.
Yeah. I like where you put that. Look, you're a true artist, man.
Thank you, brother.
I ain't gonna hold you niggas. We told you niggas, you better stop fucking with the pills. They silencing the lambs like they Buffalo Bills.
Man down. Man down. I told you niggas. Boozy daughter voice. Me and Boozy badass share a birthday. We my dark hermit. My dark hermit twin is Boozy badass, November the 14th. I'm a 75 baby. We
Okay.
different. Yeah, the 7. Look, we'll talk about that in another sit down, I guess.
All right. He one of my favorite rappers. I ain't even gonna lie
But
to
I
you.
told you niggas, you better stop fucking with the pills. They silencing the lambs like they Buffalo Bills. My birthday, I share with King Charles,
Okay.
Boozy Badass, Red and Blue Pill, right? And there's one more. There's a few people on that day, but there's one more. And when I remember it, I'll say it. But I definitely share my birth sign with a lot of people who are considered to be, the human version of what our totem is, and that's an eagle. And eagles kill from above. You don't see them coming. They kill death from above, right? It's a different way to go. You know what I mean? It's a different way that they take out their prey, and they prey differently. And I literally know people in my horoscope bracket of Scorpio who fit that to the T. Even the quote unquote scorpion, they got the stinger. Like we got all of those things working for us. And we can unleash it through physical, or we can unleash it through our arts in other ways. We know how to throw many different daggers, So my music is rebel music. I'm standing on the hip hop that birthed me, that I grew up to, that made me like when I heard Public Enemy for the first time. Like I'm standing on rebel music. I'm standing on God hop. I'm standing on, I'm throwing darts. Like my music is not just something just to make words rhyme and whatnot, or to hear myself.
No, there's a message behind. That's
Yeah.
the reason why. That's one of the reasons why. After one hearing you going on IG, listening to you spit before, I was like, hold up, I didn't even know he rhymed. You
Is
see
that
what I
right?
mean? That you actually do this. This was a one of your sides. How long have you say you've been actually spitting flame?
Since 2005, I would say that would be that's not my first recorded song, but I would say that, it was that night that I decided that I was going to take it serious. So it was around '05, right? It was Katrina that was my catalyst, the Katrina, what I felt from that, because I had visited New Orleans. I was in the Superdome at the Essence Fest right before that happened.
Okay. So basically, it was the pain that you seen that actually drew this out.
It finally made me go in the booth and just take making a few songs seriously and giving that shit my all. And it was I fell in love with those songs, and I sat with those songs, and those songs, 3 songs turned into 5, into 9, and then the rest is history.
Mhm.
You know, I perfected my craft. You know what I mean? I experienced life, and it was that experience of life being able to turn into a better, newer version of myself that gave the former version of myself the room to express himself. So
Mhm.
he comes out in the music and whatnot. I gotta let him breathe some and through some outlet, right? Because who you become is not who you always were. But what do you do with that person? Nobody can't tell me that they just you can't throw that person away. You can't kill that person. You could kill him proverbially, but there you have to assign that person something to do.
Mhm.
That's why the internet is such a tool of it's a tool if used wisely, where people could use it as an outlet for expression of their multiple personalities. You're not
Mhm.
restricted by one website or one YouTube page or one IG page. There's people that got mad different pages and different niches. Those niches are their personalities existing in those niches. They call it niches, but it's the different personas, personalities. So they came with Chat GPT and AI, and they say this thing has unlimited personas. You could talk to it as a companion and make it do anything as any persona. So what is that? That's helping people's mental health, because now they're communicating through their companion or the co-pilot AI that has this talking to their personas.
Mhm.
It's fucking genius. So it's not going anywhere. It's really, it should be looked at as
A tool.
mental health therapy, and also how to teach these children who are having trouble reading how to be creators and how to be owners of digital assets, and how to learn through activity and through hands-on versus that old way, because they knew that those Zionist teachers was lying, and I ain't mad at them. You know, the children are not learning because that there's an outdated plan and it was written completely to enslave them. So I just think that all around it's like malware. It's a virus. You know, we need a complete overhaul of education. I mean, immediately that should be the number one agenda for all fathers, right? Let's start with the fathers. I belong to the biggest hood in the world. I'm a hood nigga. I bang my hood, you know what I mean? In all corners, wherever I go, I belong to fatherhood.
Fatherhood.
I belong to fatherhood, and I wear it good, and I'm proud, and I stand on that. And fatherhood, we need to form Voltron and start building a better future for not just our babies, all babies,
All babies.
all babies.
Matter of
They
fact,
they 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 deserve it.
I was supposed to speak at an event tomorrow, and they asked me to speak on I got to speak on what does being a black man mean.
Oh man, how
And
long they got to hear that?
yeah, I got like 15, 20 minutes, but that right there is one of the things that I was actually going to bring up was you're supposed to be a son to those who done either lost their son, or to mothers that's in the environment. You're supposed to be a protector of those women. You're also
Yes,
supposed to be a
indeed.
father to not just your children, but to all children that look like us.
Yes,
This is what
indeed.
being a black man represent is
That's our
protect,
duty.
huh?
That's our duty.
Yes, to represent our community. To when you learn to be one, everybody don't know. They don't even know their position in life, And what you just said was you represent fatherhood.
That's
Fatherhood
right.
means a lot because without a father, you're misguided. Life, especially for men, for young boys, you mothers really can't raise a man to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
They can tell you how they wish a man would treat them and how they want you to treat women, but they can't teach you what manhood is.
They giving advice.
That's all they can
That's all
give.
they could do. That's all they could do is give advice. They can't
And
give experience.
some of the advice is only is emotional. It's,
Right. So
it's
this
from an
might
emotional.
be it's from
Uh-huh.
an right. It's an emotional. It's based. It's given through that, and that could be, you know, detrimental to that child because that child might need something that's void of that right now. And the mother, a mother's not going to say, oh, go in that ring and get your face beat in because, that'll be good to build up your man. It's going to unleash something in you that might have to get unleashed through pressure because pressure does what? It makes diamonds,
Makes that.
right? So the fact that the father could take the child to the football and let the coach grind him down versus when the mother got go home. We'll send him home because she can't see her little boy
It's
going through
much.
that yeah going because she doesn't grind him down like that. She doesn't give him that pressure. She's not she doesn't probably agree to that type of
Hmm.
strenuousness.
Let
And
him
I'm just
fall.
generalizing. I'm not saying that applies to every woman. I don't want to be generalizing because I'm beginning to sound like I'm doing that, you know. But I've seen it on many occasions to the point where I feel warranted to speak on it.
I got you.
Yeah.
So more kills than the Buffalo Fields or the Buffalo Kids with the Scorpion shields. How marks like the field of the Buffalo Bills.
High marks like the field of the Buffalo Bills. So more kills than the Buffalo Bills. They killed all them buffaloes,
Hmm.
right? Or the Buffalo Kids with the scorpion shields. That's Griselda. High marks like the field. High marks, right? Like the field of the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills play at High Mark Stadium.
Mm.
So West Side Gun and go brrr, brrr. Yeah, they catch a lot of bodies and they so I'm saying more kills and all of that. You niggas better stop fucking with the pills. They silencing the lambs like they Buffalo Bill. So Buffalo Bill is in Silence of the Lambs. That's the serial killer.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they silencing the lambs. Yeah, man down. The ops gotta, everybody got their day. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody got their day.
I'm standing at the gates of a ruined state, a congruent state. What
Yeah,
is
the kingdom has fallen. Babylon has fallen. I'm standing at the gates of a ruined state, a congruent state. So the state of affairs, right? Remember, when they say I live in New York State and I live in the state of New York, that's two
Mhm.
completely different things. So the state of is the state of mind. Like I'm in the New York state of mind, right? So the congruent state, I'm standing at the gates of a ruined state, a congruent state. It's a dystopian world that I live in right now. They said the other day that the Kali Yuga ended, and if it was correct or not really didn't mean as much as the fact that everybody agreed that we were in the Kali Yuga. That's what mattered most, that everybody was in agreement that yes, nigga, we are in the Kali Yuga. This is a dystopian version of the timeline. That's why a lot of people are like, yo, did the CERN, I'm concerned about CERN. Did it switch the timeline? Let me write this down. Go ahead. Concerned about CERN.
And when I spoke on it,
Mm-hmm.
they said that I was spewing hate. So what's the excuse of late now that we doing great?
Yeah, you feel me? So when I spoke on it, they said I was spewing hate. I got my channel of 15 years, right? One of the longest running YouTube channels in the world of consciousness. I would say the first one because we helped the brother Sonetta launch his YouTube channel, so it's impossible for him to come before us. So yeah, they erased my channel and said that it was, not even hate filled, but more so medical misinformation, because we tell the truth about how to get healed and stuff. So they thought that taking my channel was gonna do something, bro. The channel didn't make me. I made the channel, bro.
Come on now.
People might they might be introduced to me through YouTube, but YouTube ain't introduced, like it ain't the man make the clothes, clothes don't make the man. So if I'm not on YouTube, that's y'all loss. I ain't going nowhere.
Nah.
I'm still, the work is still getting done. There's my presence is still being felt. Hundreds of clips on this thing, you know.
And you
So
speaking on other people's platform regardless.
I'm doing great. They said that I was spewing hate, and I was the excuse of late. Now that we doing great, please excuse my face. Ugh, gas change. So it's like, y'all think y'all gonna stop this? Y'all, I wasn't living off of no damn YouTube checks or none of that dumb shit anyway. I conditioned myself to never even want to be monetized. You know what I mean? They literally monetized me the year that they took my channel. So it don't even matter. You can't miss what you never had. So they owe me $1 billion. That's a lawsuit coming. It's gonna be a Tubi movie. Y'all wait for that. You know what I mean? But right now we doing this music.
Come on now. Please excuse my face. Ugh. That's what you just said.
That's the
Gas
gas
chamber.
station.
Every
Yeah.
story has a chapter. We living in the last chamber.
Yeah, we in the last days. Allegedly, right? That's what they saying.
It's
They're
looking
saying we
like
in
it.
the last days. They say we in the last chapter, the last chamber. What I do know, you could like that, is that we in the last days of man, only because that our children will inhabit the earth where it'll be man and humanoids. You know what I mean? And then they have revealed that there's other life forms. So chances are that they're gonna do a big reveal. So the day after the big reveal, man is like, we are not alone. Michael Jackson, that song, The Search, is on fucking iTunes, right? So these are the last days of man. Well, we was just here thinking that we was alone, gassed up and whatnot. Those days is over. My son will be like, yo, I'm thinking about knocking down an Android, dad. Talk black to me. Like, they're gonna have to. No, I'm just saying. Literally, my son he's only 3. So imagine at 13, the way things are going right now. Look, I seen a rose that talks back to the woman, bro.
Ah,
They got the rose with the voice on it, right? And it's automatic, it's automated, so it's a machine, literally. And then it got technology in it, so it's AI. So Dr. Ben told me that the gateway to heaven was through the legs of a black woman. He said that's where all things are created. I don't think robots should be visiting the quote unquote gates of heaven. I do not. I don't think nothing battery operated should be in such a divine space.
don't have the spirit. Don't is missing parts to this thing.
Anything that don't have a spirit, from latex to anything that don't have a spirit or a aura or some chi, right? If it goes where it's not supposed to be, it's not adding, it's taken away.
Mm-hmm.
So you got this fibroid explosion and all kind of other things. I don't want to turn into the medical institution tonight, but it really it helps to be looked into. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a rabbit hole, but it ain't that deep.
Come on now.
Ain't that
What was
deep.
one Alice in the Wonderland? That was that. That's what that was, right?
That's
Matter of
right. That's
fact,
the rabbit
y'all
hole.
used to play off that too, didn't you?
Well, the Matrix, the white rabbit goes down the rabbit hole.
You was talking about you was talking about I asked you about the rabbit hole.
Yeah, so the rabbit hole, that's basically, you see that in Alice in Wonderland, and then they reintroduce it in the Matrix. Remember, she comes to the door when they invite Neo to the club, and she has the rat, and they tell him, look for the rabbit hole, right? he in the beginning of the movie, he's on what? He's on the dark web. He's not on the regular internet.
It's
He's
true.
jugging on the dark web like people used to be on the Silk Road, moving all kind of, you know, all kind of things,
Yeah.
everything, right? The
Body
way that
parts,
right,
all
he
type
was
of shit.
on the onion router, right? He wasn't on the internet, he's on the onion router when the movie starts. Then he encounters the communication of Morpheus and Trinity. They say, look out, you know, they say the white rabbit sees the white rabbit. That's a play on the whole Alice in Wonderland thing. And that's where we at right here. You know, this journey that we're all on down this rabbit hole, this proverbial rabbit hole, where we're discovering, you know, the neo version of ourselves. When we're discovering that there's a quote unquote Zion that we are all attaining to be at, we do eventually meet up in places that feel like Zion, at festivals, at retreats, you know what I mean? There's places where we go, you know, and get together and gather and whatnot, and it feels like heaven on earth.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like Zion. It feels like you're eating, you know, you're eating healthy, you're eating food, you're not eating processed stuff, you're eating real food. You know, you're with the fam, you're with the tribe, you're with your alikes, but y'all are like standouts. Y'all don't look like the average people. You know what I mean? You know, y'all living in Zion. But when you jump through the phone, you in the matrix. And that's a whole new digital world. That's a whole nother ballpark. That's the world where everything is everything and anything is what you say it is. And this is the unlimited. This is the long tail. This is what we've been reading about. This is the third and the fourth dimension. And now the AR VR experience is coming in the SR, and that's gonna take people into like the sixth dimension, bro.
The whole
It's going up real fast. So the art that we create and the soundtrack that we create to it and the visuals that we're going to be creating and also the digital assets and all of these things, they're going to be integrated into Web3, metaverse as a service. I mean, you know, the possibilities have multiplied exponentially. So the probabilities and the potentiality and the possibilities and the of to live in abundance, right? They're beginning to multiply right in front of our eyes.
and
So this is what the information. This is what we talking about.
I heard you say something earlier.
Mhm.
Abundance starts where?
In the
In your mind.
mind.
Everything
Mhm.
starts in your mind. So if you can think it, it can become.
Because abundance is just opportunities. That's all abundance is. Abundance is nothing material. Abundance is that you have more opportunities than you probably even could do something with.
Mm-hmm. You just
If
got
I
to
do
know
a
how to.
video and 1 million people see it, I'm abundant.
You're
You know
abundant.
why? Because like Cat Williams said, I'm already rich. Everything is already settled. Anywhere that I go, I'm good. I don't want for anything because I know that I'll be good anywhere that I go, bro. Any hood that I'm in, I'm Gucci. You feel me? Anywhere that I travel, it doesn't matter where I go. I know that I'll always be good.
One, because of your vibration, what you bring.
Straight like that.
You're not living in a lower vibration. You're living in a higher plane.
Straight like that. I don't have to be pretentious. I just have to be.
That's it.
My spirit and my aura speaks for itself, not let alone my name and my face card and whatnot. But it's not just about that because at the end of the day, I'm not my face.
No,
And I'm
you're,
not my name.
you're who you are.
I'm who I am. Because I've been in situations where I was buried alive. And none of that matters. It's about who you are at that moment. That's what's gonna matter. Because nobody know your name, nobody know your following. No, none of that. They don't know none of that. Okay, you in the den of vipers, you in the lion's den. You know what I mean? You in the mouth. You are Jonah in the mouth of the whale. You
You're
know
number in certain places.
that's right. And it's just a precursor to what you'll realize when you cross over that you was a number the whole time.
That was
That
it.
you really wasn't. You really was being processed. the whole time. You just was a number. It wasn't that fucking serious. Carry on type shit. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, you take yourself too serious. That's the ego,
To
you
the
know.
next line.
Yeah.
And all of the spooks is spooky. They're addicted to that soft lie, soft white. Yeah, it's giving Pookie. This is New Jack City. Yeah, it's giving Keisha in the Suzuki. It just do hold on. I just do the right thing. They say it's giving Mookie. They say it's giving Tukey.
No, the way the blue be flexing, blue, my brother blue, the way that blue be flexing, they say it's giving Tukey. That's a double right there.
I might have
Cause
missed that one.
blue is son is a crip. Not
Okay.
blue
Yeah.
is not a
Okay.
crip, but the way that blue be flexing, right? Like he be flexing, but he don't be like, but Tukey was a crip in the blue and he was flexing. He was diesel. So the way that blue be flexing, they say is giving Tukey. I
Mhm.
just do the right thing. They say is giving Mookie. That's Mookie from Do the Right Thing. That's Spike Lee.
Yeah.
I be doing the right thing. I don't be doing nothing. They say it's giving Mookie. The way that blue be flexing, they say is giving Tukey. You do know is that right after that?
Nah, right before that was this is New Jack City. Yeah.
Oh, this is New
Give me
Jack
Keisha
City.
and
It's giving
Suzuki.
Keisha and Suzuki. So yeah, that's Keisha and the Suzuki and New Jack. She the shooter.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? That's that Kali energy. That's that, you know what I mean? That's that big mama energy. You feel me? That's the shoot. That's Keisha for real. Not Keith, but Keisha, but on purpose. Because they the ones that they get things done.
So I probably should have asked this in the beginning, but the name of this is what? Money and Power, right?
Yes, this is money power.
What brought about that name?
That blue is on the hook, spitting money and power, and money and power is what's ruling the world right now. You know what I mean? Money and power is the frequency that the mixtape is going to kind of embody with red and blue. The whole mixtape that we got. It initially, our mixtape was going to be called "The Pills Got Something to Say." It's a takeoff of the South. The South got something to say with Andre 3000, and it's also a double entendre with him because he's our same age, and he said that he didn't have nothing to rap about, so he played the flute. But we're his age, and we got mad. We got something to rap, so the Pills got something to say. But today we came to a conclusion that that's going to be a song on the album, and the album is going to be called Purple Sprite.
When will it be dropped?
When we ready.
You tell.
When we ready. When the paint dries from the art, bro.
No, the only
It's
reason why
a
I'm
it's a big
asking.
canvas. I
All
know it's gonna be soon though.
right,
But
because right
Money and
now,
Power, yeah, Money and Power is the single. We gotta let that breathe
okay,
before we
okay,
hit him with the project. We gotta let that breathe, and then we need a rollout.
okay.
Yeah, I got I have a business plan, I got a team, and we got a budget that is gonna be growing as soon as this album is gonna be able this song is gonna finance the growth of I got a whole bunch of Web3, DeFi,
You do a lot.
I got layers. Yeah, I got layers to this
Yeah.
thing. So I got layers because life is an experiment. Timing is everything. You don't have time to keep trying and playing with it because the thing is moving so fast that you'll try some shit out and like 10 other people have already done past that. So
Mhm.
what you're gonna be stuck. I'm an innovator. You know what I mean? I like to be early to the game.
I
So
understand that. So before we go, I want you to do a few things. Shout out your pages, all your pages where they can find you.
right.
Any prior projects that you would like them to go check out. And then what I'm going to do, if it's one, it was an honor to actually have you here. If it's ever again that you'll join me again, I'd love for you to jump back up here because you sent me 3 songs.
You already know. Um, I'm available. You feel me? I make myself available as an artist. It's important, right? I make this art and not in my spare time. It's not a spare time thing. You
Mhm.
feel me? I make this art in my magical times. This is lightning in a bottle. You know what I mean? And to discuss my art and to have an artistic conversation, that's one of the reasons why I make it. You know what I mean? So this is something that I enjoy and I respect journalism. You feel me? And I also create content. I'm a content creator. So this is the type of content that is beneficial for me to create. So if you want to have a conversation about one of these other hits that we're about to hit these people upside their head with, or some previous, because we got hits, right? You said that you didn't know that I was a musician. So, they have a large underground following spanning all the way back from like 2010.
Mhm.
We appeared on some remixes with Black Dot called The Secret Chiefs, and also another one called The Guardian of those is two classics, and those are available on YouTube, you
And
know.
then I think I shared with you that I created something that I love for you to be a part of, especially because I know you're an artist now.
Right.
Me and you'll be we'll be cooking this up soon, so I'll make sure I hit you up, explain to you because it's built around hip hop.
That's beautiful.
Because
Um the best way that people could reach me, honestly, and I'm really not being funny, is through the Cash App. I'm
Shout out
serious.
to Cash App, he did see.
Yes, I do. I only really communicate through Cash App because I'm not a faith-based. I'm not in a faith-based position. I'm not one of those businesses. I'm not a person who works for the people. You know what I mean? I don't subject myself to none of that. No, I'm a businessman. I'm a consultant. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I am an investor myself. I actually have a hedge fund. I have a Patreon. I have a Cash App, right? And I have an Instagram. And those are the three places where I tend to do business. So as a business person or somebody who's business savvy, I gave you three options. So if you wanted to do a level of business, you know how to come to me. You could come at me through the
Cash App.
Instagram DM. I do a lot of business through there. You can hit me up on the Cash App, right? Or you could become a Patreon, which means my goal for the end of this year is 100,000 people on Patreon. That's really not even asking for much. For people to just be like, yo, I want my hands to be counted when I say, yo, I need everybody to raise their hand, right? Oh, brother Red, I love you. You changed my life. Brother Red, you did so much for me. All the way back when I was like a jit, brother Red. You really made my life turn into a better. I tell people, you say that to me, just be a member. Just come on, lock in on a blockchain. Like lock, not no flimsy. Oh, I'm signed. No, we need blockchain membership. Lock in, right? All I'm asking, I don't want your social security to just say, yo, I'm a member. I'm just a hand because we live in a numbers based world now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the way to play this digital video game that we're in, this real Ready Player One game, is men lie, women lie,
Numbers
algorithms don't. No, it's a
algorithm.
numbers game. So that's all I'm saying. If you want to get on some red pill shit, the evolution of red pill, as Rich Phil is, I'm moving with the numbers.
Mm.
Feel me? I'm going to show the power of the numbers. I'm going to show how the numbers could easily disrupt and how you could shatter all records and all preconceived notions of what growth and scaling is with the right numbers. And when I say the right numbers, I ain't even talking about scary numbers, but you're seeing the evidence of it with people like Kai Sinet, right? The streamers